And we're back. We are back. Hopefully OBS working today after all that mess yesterday. Morning, traders. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully some of you made some money overnight. Still in a range here. All right, still in a range. Seeing a little bit of weakness in the last sort of 30 minutes as some Fed members keep talking on CNBC right now. Got a newsprint coming at 10 o'clock. We are well and truly into earnings season. Let's just get into the chart so before we do anything else. Hopefully you've all gone through your checklist this morning. As I always tell you, make sure you are feeling fit and able to trade right now. Go through your checklist and let's make a plan. So, daily chart. What are we doing daily chart? 3 days inside right now. This is currently the third day inside. Now you could argue fail breakout, but you know, let's see how we go during the session. But really, I'm going to count this as a pretty much a balanced range right here. And we know that this blue box is a key level. Support, 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 resistance, 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 support, support. All right, massive level right here. Again, we talked about it last week. This will be the sentiment for the rest of the quarter. All right, we build liquidity here versus this level. It has a chance to come up here with the Bollinger, especially if the 5-day starts trending up with it and the 20-day can start to go and the other Bollinger can start to come. We start getting stuck underneath this and start using it as resistance again. This will become where buyers are trapped and we'll do that rotation potentially for a gap fill or at least a pullback of this leg, which is deeper. And then we'll have to see what's what after that. So I don't want to be too biased right now, knowing that what are we in? We are in a ranging market. What is this doing? It's building. What's this doing? It's building. That was the worst question mark ever, isn't it? It is building liquidity in here. That's the job right now, to build liquidity. Yesterday, we seemed to manage to trap shorts off that 5-day for the move up. Today, we've maybe have trapped bulls looking for the breakout early in the session for that pullback to the bottom of the range, but we are still nonetheless in a range, so I'm going to respect that range. Moving into hourly charts, you can see overnight, let's just take SVP off for a second. You can see overnight, this is yesterday where we trapped shorts. We kept talking about yesterday, you do not want to be a new money short down here. All right, so we had that failed breakout yesterday of the high, swept previous day high, and traded back inside. Swept the lows intraday, but found buyers here. What have we produced? That is a higher low. All right, so it still has the chance to produce a higher low here right now. I know this is feeling scary. It's like a big, deep pullback, but right now it has the ability to produce a higher low. It also, if it wants to, can come and sweep all of this out and trap underneath, because if we go left, we've got some big resistance points like we talked about that it might want to come and back test. Can quite easily come down here if it wants to. I'm not an ultra bear in this market, all right, until we get beneath that. If we can start to, you know, do something like this and it starts to prove, then yes, maybe there's a case for a rotation back down. First stop would be 200s, and we're looking for a move all the way down here into 18.8. So that's what I'm looking at. All right, that's the only way I'm thinking about being very bearish in this market, is if we start to break down, lose levels, and fail on back tests. Otherwise, like I said, it can do a trap here. It can even just find a higher low in here and come back to the upside. We are in a range until it proves otherwise. However, in the lower time frame right now, you'd be absolutely right in saying we are bearish. Right, this lower time frame since 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, sweep of previous day high, 1 attempt, 2 attempt. There's the pullback, and they should have given that the slingshot. That was the chance that they had to do it, and they didn't. Since then, we're finding sells, aren't we? Breaking down under this structure, big sell. Bear flag, big sell. If they create a new bear flag, they might want to come down to here. Then you must respect these buyers and the lows from Friday. We get under that. We're under 19.2. Maybe a rotation down. maybe a rotation down. Not looking to execute this early in this session, given that we are in a range. If you just zoom out the last few sessions, all we're doing is upsetting traders right now. Can easily keep doing this over and over and over and over and over again until it's got enough liquidity, and maybe it's going to use NFP to get out, maybe it's going to use some of the earnings which are coming to get out. We will just have to see. But right now, momentum downside to here, but it can produce a higher low here. If we think about that higher low count, you're into golden zone right here, right now. All right, so that's what I'm thinking about. If you're following momentum, you're just going to follow momentum to the edges. Ideally, you want to be trading the edges. If you're looking for the breakout, I'd be very cautious about a breakout in this market, but I wouldn't worry about a breakout retest. That would be pretty good. Same for this side. If we're going to start breaking down, a breakout retest will be good. This area here will be choppy, folks. In between red and blue, it will be choppy. It's told you it's choppy numerous times already, so just respect what the market's showing you. Let's have a quick look at the VIX. Right, VIX in the same range. All right, yesterday we broke out from underneath 25, created a low of 24.60. We've traded back upside. We're trading at 25.80 now. We are very clearly in a range in the VIX as well. All right, until we get clear breakouts in that, we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to trap and build liquidity. QQQ, just making sure everything's lining up here. Same kind of thing. Bit of a double top. Trying to hold action from Thursday afternoon, Friday morning right now. All the time it holds those levels, it has a chance to stay in the range and trade upside. If it starts losing for QQQ 465, let's just call it. If it starts losing 465, then we have downside pressure come into the market. For a breakout, it's going to need to get above, what's that previous day high? 474.82, might as well call it 475 on the Qs. Let's have a quick look at spiders. How are we doing for time? Plenty of time here. Spiders, same kind of level. Really, I'd say that previous day low on spiders, 545.18s, all the way down to 544, really. It's got to hold that. Failure to hold that will be a problem for the spiders. Upside, you're looking for a breakout of 553.57 for a move into 555. And then through that, it's got room then. Another 10 points higher at that point. On the ES, it's just the same thing, folks. Higher highs, higher lows, but it's not pretty right now. It is not pretty right now. This kind of uptrending market, but very grindy with big washes. You want to be careful playing these. So any sentiment shift here, someone's going to get caught. We've talked about it the last few sessions. Someone will get hurt in this market. It's just when. When have they built enough liquidity for it? Let's have a quick look at the mag. Move this to a 5-minute. See what we're dealing with here. Apple gapping down inside yesterday's range. Right, there's yesterday's range. There's the close. We're gapping down, but we're inside. All the time we're holding this has the ability to rotate back up. We let go of that and get stuck. We're going downside pressure. That's what we're dealing with right now, probably across the board. Same look on Microsoft, gapping down inside yesterday's range. That is absolutely terrible for Amazon. That is a significant gap down, and we've lost previous day low. Let's look left here. Next stop for Amazon will be this level down here, 80s, back test of 80s. That is not a good look on Amazon. So I had the chance yesterday to build that liquidity, failed at the highs with the market, giving it all back. Goog, inside bar, under previous day close, but still has the ability to hold previous day low. Meta, same story, inside bar, underneath previous day close, but inside previous day low. Nvidia, same story, exactly the same story. There's your lows. We'll try and hold this for a move up. Failure for that, we rotate down. Same story across the board right now. Tesla, relative strength. All right, Tesla, that has the ability to do a move here if it wants to. If it can build enough liquidity here, it has that move towards previous day high available. Failing this level here, 83, you probably get that rotation into this pool. So everything pretty much the same. Tesla with relative strength versus the rest of the market from what I'm looking at right now. I'm going to let this market settle down at the open. We have jolts coming at 10 o'clock, news at 10 o'clock. I don't really want to trade the midpoint of this range, which if we go from previous day high to previous day low, is probably exactly where we are. Yeah, pretty much at 50%. I'm not really interested in executing a trade at 50%. So momentum in the short term is downside, but if we just zoom out and you look at your sort of hourly, we're still making higher highs and higher lows. But we've had 3 good pushes here and haven't been able to base above 600. So that is starting to be a little bit telling on that hourly chart, on this hourly chart. All right, I would love to join longs if we do something like this, if we trap, and I'd love to join shorts if we stay heavy for that move. Don't really want to be short before then, unless it's very clear and obvious that sellers are coming in and we're going to do one of these grindy days back down. But if we're going to do that, I'm going to take profit into here. Just like yesterday, you must take profit. You must respect these levels where buyers keep stepping in. You can hold runners beyond that. But you do not want to be actioning new short positions as we get into these levels. You are asking for it. Anyone who got short here got squeezed. Short here got squeezed. Same thing might well happen again as they continue to rotate. All right, let's get through some good mornings. See who's here in chat. Morning, Clint, JD Florida Man, Marek, Miguel, Aaron, Jeff, Jesse, Callan Travels, Ramus, John Dennis, TR, Bruce, Thumper, Array, Coop, Leron, Scott Sullivan, Glenn, Arturo, Christy, Myron, Crawford, DJ Noah, Aga, Juan Carlos, Mike, JMO, AJ, Brandon, Trentry, Radar, Marcel, Abe, Rose Forrest, Jack Huckins, Minix, Willa Williams, Steve C, Kaladin, Jake, Alan, Emmett, Brian, Capt, DPFW, Aaron, Ash Loren, Jeffrey, Amolabi1, and Phenom. Good morning, everyone. Morning, morning, morning. The more of you that come in here, the longer that's going to take, isn't it? Right, I'm going to just grab my water, which I left next door. I'll be right back before that open. All right. So market building out a little bit of liquidity here. Question is it a bear flag at the open? Do they start rejecting yesterday's VWAP and these flow zones for that rotation back down? If they reclaim in here, then they try and produce, this would be a high low on an hourly, and they're going to go for previous day high. So that's why I just want to let it shake out at the open. See what this market's actually interested in doing. Morning, Lyndall, DK. Squire Farms, good morning, everyone. Market opening in 1 minute. Let's see what we get here. That 500 felt fairly key yesterday as an over-under. All right, once we drifted, lost, started losing 500, we got that big wash. Once we reclaimed it, little squeeze, we might have trapped buyers over it. You've got point of control here. And washing down, if we reject it again, maybe new leg lower. If we reclaim it, maybe higher. So I'd definitely be watching that old point of control and 500 as an over-under here today. seems to be fairly key on sentiment. Over that, you've got that drift into 600. If we base over 600, we can have that attempted move into 19,900 all the way up to 20,000, which I think is where the market wants to go. It feels like it wants to backtest that 200-day moving average if it can get going. In my mind, that's what it feels like it wants to do. All right, market now open. Zoom this in. Get this in before I forget. Okay, bearish open here, folks. We're opening with a slight gap down, not very much, but a slight gap down. Remember, momentum in the pre-market for the last hour or so has been downside. But on the hourly, we still have the chance to produce higher lows and higher highs. We're still defending some key levels. Morning, Peter. Morning, Mr. Slim. Morning, Bay Trader. Morning, Andres. Yeah, nothing missed. You're not missing anything. A quick look at the MAG Tesla, 0.2%. Well, it's almost closed its gap already as I'm talking, but slightly red. Nvidia, 0.75% down. Meta, 0.41% down. Google, 0.20% down. Amazon, the weak one, like we talked about pre-market, 1.61% down. Microsoft green currently. Apple 0.5% down. Here goes the market squeezing back up into yesterday's VWAP. That VWAP on I have not adjusted to today. That's yesterday's VWAP. I will change that shortly. So far, finding some sellers in there. Remember, if we start reclaiming that, reclaiming 500s, you have liquidity up here if it wants to do that slingshot. News coming at 10 o'clock. You wonder here if they're going to go for previous day low here and look for a bit of a wash. But again, we're just in the middle of range. It's not the perfect place to be thinking about actioning a new position here. VIX currently basing out at 2550s. And do me a favor, everyone, hit that like button nice and early. I don't have to keep talking about it in stream. And for those who are interested, you have got just until the end of the month, all right, until this sale on Traderfy ends. So 30% off all accounts, for 40% off for first-time buyers. They will be ending this at the end of the month. My advice is to get a growth account if you are a newer trader, all right, and if you're profitable and you've proven yourself, you can look at those straight to funding. They're a lot more expensive. So for everyone else, growth account, probably the best one on the market. Squeeze up here. Yep, DK, yeah, exactly. 10 o'clock, we have news. We have JOLTS numbers, 10 o'clock today. I'm going to get rid of this and put a New York one on. So bottom side of Globex here is 95. So basically those 500 over unders. And we start reclaiming Globex. It's got the chance to go up towards the top of Globex and previous day high, 600 and 630. So far, rejecting underneath Globex so far, finding some sellers there into that move of sort of 480, 500. Like we talked about, that is likely to be a fairly key level there today. Back to the New York VWAP here. If pops start to fail and they start to rotate, we might get a new leg lower. If they start to reclaim sort of 500, then I think they have a chance to get back up to the top side this morning of Globex. So big levels here. I'm not really interested in trading in the middle of the range like I talked about. Very easy to get trapped in ranging markets when they're building liquidity. Quite happy to wait, even if it means not taking a trade today. I'd rather trade the break and retest of either side of this range that we're building out. Either that, if it offers a continuation, I'm not totally against it. If it's very, very clear and obvious that we're going to go down for previous day lows or we're going to go up for previous day high, but it needs to be absolutely obvious to me. VIX just basing here at 25.50. We're only, 5 minutes in here, folks? Just give this time. Just trying to hold flow zones here again. Your 1 minute flow zone still beneath the deep pullback flow zones. Nothing bullish yet, but we're trying to hold that higher time frame momentum level and the New York Open. If we start letting go of those levels, maybe we go for a wash further down. Clean up some of my charts here. I'd say definitely where we found a bid here this morning is based on that afternoon pullback where we found a bid yesterday. So you want to be very careful thinking about actioning new shorts. So one thing can be very easy to get trapped there today. Underneath New York Open here. Tesla starting to sell 1.25% down now. Nvidia 0.75% down. Meta 0.25% down. Google just under 1%. Amazon 1.5%. Microsoft relative strength again in that market. Microsoft. Every time we're in a weak market, Microsoft seems to have relative strength. Apple 0.33% down. As these lot fight it out here in these key levels. See, everything's tight here. My bias right now would be downside, just based on what I'm seeing here, but nothing actionable yet. Can very easily put in a high low here on the hourly, which is a little bit scary. Not great, is it? If the hourly looks like it wants to go higher and we're dancing around in big daily levels and the lower time frame looks like it wants to continue lower until proved otherwise, and you haven't got multi-time frame alignment, just look up here. One section, the higher time frame is building liquidity, lower time frame right now, just because it's over this, is trying to do that push up. But if we get back under that, that was switched to bearish. Not easy. Not easy action here. Back to New York Open again. Microsoft might go red here on the day. It's having a look. Do they start breaking down here, or is this where they absorb again for that leg high again? Just in a range here this morning at 50%. It's possible that they want to do that breakdown. You have to see if selling really comes in with strength here. Again, they were just into the areas where we've bid off this morning and very close to where we bid off yesterday. Right, yesterday. So if we hold this, technically it can be a higher high. If we close that cup, then we can think about a rotation lower, a bit cleaner, I would say, a bit easier to do. I'm just trying to be very patient. All of the market other than Microsoft now red. Underneath that New York Open here, are they going to get continuation of selling here? Do they want to drift this down? They're going to drift it down. We can take out those sort of New York shelf lows, the pre-market lows, and go for previous day low if they're going to be clean and obvious. If they find a bid here, they can very quickly rip this back upside. We're rejecting 5-minute clouds so far. Again, you want to be very careful as we get near the 60s. That's the thing. That's why we found a bid yesterday. It's why this is going to be a battle here. ES finding a bit of a bid there on 25.50s. You want to see it have some VIX. You want to see it have some strength if you're looking for the short. If it starts to fade back under PDC, then the short thesis for any continuation will drift away very quickly, and then you'll be looking at that rotation again. Just flat here. I'm not interested in anything right here, right now. It's gonna have to really show me and prove to me it wants to do something today to get me involved. I do not want to get trapped in a ranging market. We're in nothing more than a ranging market here. I like trending markets when available. Don't mind fail breakouts. I don't mind breakouts, but I don't want to get stuck at 50% of the range, which is what we're talking about here. Part of me thinks that this market wants to go up and test the 200-day moving average. Part of me thinks that that will be the big trap and that they'll come in and sell. I think we're going to get some news piece coming soon. And I don't mean like what's scheduled. I think I would not be surprised to see either of these two headlines drop soon. No deal done with China, nothing on the shelves. This feels like COVID, market rotates down. Or deal done on tariffs before the 90 days and we just rip for the market. We just reprice everything in straight upside, full rocket ship higher. One of those two things I think will probably happen. I don't think we'll get to 90 days without one of those two things happening. Headline risk just feels too big. Yeah, absolutely, Scott. Yeah, absolutely. I keep track of breaking news like that. Big news events like that I don't want to trade against. You see what happened last time. We did, what did we do? Like 2,000, 3,000 point candles or something on a daily. 14% day when we that was on the pause of the tariffs. Just on a pause of the tariffs. Yeah, absolutely. Macro events like that are important. Market stuck here in a 67-point range so far this morning. Very small considering what we've had recently. This is just sort of Globex level up here. Or is it 80s technically? Yeah. This is basically Globex. You might as well do it down to there, but this is basically Globex. This is an under over. Yeah, financial juice. Definitely, that's what I use. Morning, Raphael. Yeah, I was here yesterday, just had tech issues on OBS, so ended up being a bit late. I was streaming to you lot, but it wasn't, and it said I was live, but it wasn't going anywhere, unfortunately. So ES getting stuck at VWAP. SPY now back underneath the VWAP. QQQ tapped into VWAP, found some sellers there. Market continues to build out this liquidity. All of the mags are red other than Microsoft. Apple having an attempt to go green here as well, right on its close. Do not get chopped up this morning. Mid of the range. No reason to force your way into this market. All right. If it doesn't set up this morning, it might set up this afternoon. If it doesn't set up then, it will set up tomorrow. Like, no need to force your way into this market right now. If we keep rejecting 500s, it can rotate lower. If we reclaim those 500s, we're going to go 600, 630s. If we get through 630s, we're going to go 800s. Those are the plays. Globex here being tested. Yes, back to VWAP. These are big levels here, folks. These are over, under levels. Market will need to make a decision at some point. Cannot get through Globex, just keeps tapping on it. This is where we found sellers on the previous hour up here. That's where we started breaking down from. Hourly's pretty much gone wick to wick on Globex. 87s or so on wick to wick. Reclaim that. It's going to look for 500s, 506s, which is point of control. Reclaim that. Build liquidity out. Then I think we have that chance of going up to 600. I'm just trying to wait for it to do it. You've now got your orb set. So we're right on the top of the orb here. It's your opening range. So if it can hold this, ideally hold this, it has that chance to go up to 600. Failure back inside the orb, we probably come down to the downside. Market trying to go green here. Nvidia now green, Microsoft green, Apple now green. Can the rest of the market join in is the question. It's your sort of back test of orb here. Trying to hold it. Can they get that upside move here through VWAP, through the 500s? Remember, over under 500 pretty much key. Looking to join this now, just for a scalp. Watching VWAP very carefully here if they let go of it, but looking to join. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Can we get that squeeze through 500s? There's 500s, taking just a little partial into that. Stops in the money. Lovely. Come on, get through 500. Cannot get through 500s here. Out here, and I'll reload if needed. Just a small scalp there to start the day. I want to see if it wants to hold this opening range for a squeeze through 500s. If it can't and it keeps rejecting VWAP, that's going to be a problem. We're going to go right the way downside. I feel like it wants to try and get through versus the opening range here for that move. Here we go. Needs to get through VWAP here and 500. That's absolutely key. Over under level today. Back in this again now, looking for the squeeze. There we go. Brilliant. Can we keep going here? So if we can keep going, we're going to go for 600s or at least 530s first target, I guess, top of this range. And then all the way up to 600s possible and over 600s. We keep going. Up to 800s for the remainder of the day if it can do that. This is beautiful. Locking a little bit more here in front of PDC. Nice way to start the day. Very simple orb trade there for the squeeze once we reclaimed this level here. We said this level here, Globex key. If it can base out here, you're looking left. You should be looking for buys. Wash these guys out if we get there all the way up here. If we start failing back underneath this, we can fade back inside the morning range that we created. But so far, bullish momentum coming in. Once it was clean and obvious, just joined for a little bit of that momentum for the upside push. You want this to hold 500s and VWAP right now. ES did just close its gap. All right, so I took partials there. I've just got a tiny little piece left. Took partials in front of PDC there, in front of that yellow line, because ES has already closed that gap now, as has the VIX. If VIX starts breaking down underneath previous day low, then this can keep going. Holding 500s, very nice there on that last pullback. That VWAP holding 500s. If you get through PDC, remember, take a partial into this. If you get through this, you're looking for that push to 600, 630. That's what you're looking for. That would be the chance for the hourly to make a higher high. Remember, that hourly so far has made a higher low. It will need to make a higher high for a continuation trade. If we make that higher high through 600s, then I'm thinking about 800s and 20,000 for the next leg. So again, with these trades, I'm always in a see money, take money environment. Why am I in that right now? Because we're inside range, right? Why am I locking in profits quickly? We're inside range. I don't know if sellers are going to step in here versus PDC and absolutely slap this back down. So I make sure I pay myself some money early. You have news coming in 10 minutes, folks. The last hourly high was 540. So if it wants to trade up and take those hourly sellers out, that's where it's going to go, 540. Microsoft looking good. Bang! That's just washed everyone out, isn't it? All right, let's see. How far can we go here? The big push-pull there after we got through PDC. A bit of lag on my system there. Oh, Ninja, what's going on? Ninja, wakey, wakey. Wakey, wakey, Ninja, what's going on here? There we go, back to life. So be careful here. If they're doing that wash through, stop hunt to come back inside. They can dig this deeper if they want to. I'd love to see this continue higher now. Yeah, it was came out of nowhere a little bit. Someone's stuck, I think. I don't think that's necessarily news. I'm not seeing anything. China waives tariffs on US ethane imports. So it's starting to see China like get a bit looser on US stuff. So they're expecting to get the same thing the other way when we do that. Still in range, like I said, you got to make sure you're locking some in front of PDC there. We washed PDC. A little stop run through it, trading back inside here. Nice trade, the trader. Got to see if it builds liquidity out here now. Remember, we're fairly extended from those flow zones and VWAP, and your orbs all the way down at 78. Is this going to build out liquidity here to go higher? Or is that it? Is that it on the day? You know, is that push up it? Market, mixed bag again here. It's a little bit iffy looking at this market. Microsoft green, Apple green, everything else fairly heavy, to be honest, other than Nvidia's trying to go red to green, but Tesla just under 1% down, Google 1.35% down, Amazon 1.5% down. It's a little bit of an interesting one here. Bit like yesterday. Again, we're inside. When we're inside, we expect choppy action, don't we? We expect the market to be choppy, but we're reclaiming Globex right now, and we're trying to hold. If it can stay above 500, it's got a chance. It doesn't have to do it, but it's got a chance for that push to 600s. It will need to break out here, though. Remember, you've got news coming in 7 minutes as well. Are we going to get going here? Come on, market. Let's get going here. Let's have a bit of fun. Can we get through that PDC? Yes, is through it. Can you get through it here, market? Go on. Go on, market. Cannot do it. Keeps tapping PDC, finding sellers there so far. Choppy range here. Choppy range, what makes that decision between VWAP, Globex, and PDC. If it can build a flag here, it's got that chance to go up towards the 600s. If it can't build it, it comes all the way back down into range. Again, we've seen this kind of trade yesterday. We did sweep the old hourly highs. This will be an engulfing candle if it can close high, but it's got 5 minutes left to do it, and then we're into news. And you know what news is like in this market. It can be wild, 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 wild. So not surprising they're pinning it at a key level coming into that news event, is it? I feel like it's their favorite thing to do. Bias hit technically is upside, but coming into news, I like it less and less and less. I expect the ATR on this news, on the jolts, will be big. Probably do some horrible wick. Back down towards that opening range here. Opening range on the day is Globex, is 80. So that's your over-under. If they hold that, they've got that chance upside. If they don't hold that and they drift inside, then all the bulls looking for the breakout that we've already taken partials and made money in will be trapped. They're looking to build this flag out, which is using this liquidity to go higher. If they don't do that and they get stuck here, they open this up for the bears. That's the battle right now. And it's a battle over multiple time frames right now, that battle. Just trying to do that flag. PDC key here, I would say. Through PDC, we go for that high that it just put in at sort of, what's that, 46s or something. There it goes. It's trying. There's PDC again. It wants to do that flag and break. It keeps getting stuck at PDC. There's lots of people on the tape here, but they're not big size. I expect it to just get through them and run up to 550. That's where the bigger selling is. 550, 560. But look at that. Tap into PDC failure again. 1, 2, 3 times. There we go. There's PDC again. Go on, just get through. There's not enough there to stop you. There really is not enough there to be stopping this. It's pathetic. Pathetic volume. Yeah, DK 3 minutes to news. Yep. That is not what you want to see as a bull. That many times getting stuck there in PDC. So flat now. Wait for the news. Oh. Come on, what are you doing? 2 minutes. I feel like this wants to go up. It's just like, who's taking that gamble? Jake, you've got to start, mate. You've asked it 3 times. You got to start using a news scanner, mate. You shouldn't be trading if you don't know that. I've said it 4 or 5 times already. Jolts number 10 o'clock. It's not always someone talking. If you're trading and you don't know what news is coming, what it is or when it's coming, you are asking to get hurt, right? You're asking to get hurt. Please, guys, start using very simple things. Market Watch, Forex Factory, whatever it is you need. You need to be trading knowing when news is hitting and what that news is. You should not be even looking at a market if you don't know what's coming. Always, 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 you need to be aware of the news. It's always the same news on the same days of each calendar month. Last Friday of the month, NFP is what we get this Friday. So 500 over under, orb over under. Bias would be upside for that move up to 600. If it doesn't do it, buyers get stuck. That's the move right now. "10 seconds and you get this number. Market is not really thinning out here. They're trying to support the bid for that upside move. There's the jolts number. Fly down, and do they bid this back up now? They're just playing games here so far. Let this settle down. So far, holding the opening range, holding Globex like we talked about. If they catch enough bears coming in trying to slam this news event, they can use their stops for the upside push. Yeah, even TradingView has news, folks. Like, if you don't necessarily need to see the print, but you need to know what's going on, because you do not want to be in a position if you don't know what's going on. Jolt 7.192, forecast 7.5, came in cooler. Consumer confidence 86 versus 88, so pretty much in line there on consumer confidence. Still holding, Globex still holding the opening range. We still have that chance to drift upside unless it starts getting stuck underneath those levels. Nvidia looking pretty good, trying to go green here. Microsoft green, Apple's green. Meta trying to go green as well. Tesla, Google, and Amazon are the weak ones. We are not in alignment today. I'm going to repeat that. We're not in alignment across the mag. It's one thing to be very, very aware of. I still think if we get a break of PDC here and we get that flag move or that inverse head and shoulders move, then we can go screaming up towards 600s. So here's the test towards that PDC. Here we go. Can it get through PDC? We've been selling there all morning. We get through 30s. Let's just call it 530s. We get through 530s and we're going up towards 600s here. Here's 530s. I'm in this now, in this flag break. Again, stopping the money, looking for a squeeze back up here. This is what we're looking for before the news, which wouldn't come. How high can we go here? Can we get all the way upside? Scalped a little bit out there. Needs to hold 510s now. I want this to hold 510s and view up. Fail to do that, I'll get out and have another attempt if I need to. Again, not going to force my way. Remember, this is a range rotational market. Just keep remembering that. Say it to yourself in your head. We're in range rotation. It doesn't have to do anything. Looking good here, though. Come on, let's get going through previous week close. Let's take out that sort of swipe high that we did. Move my stop up a little bit here to protect my profits. Lovely, 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 lovely. Go and take that high out. Go and take that high out. Watching this closely. I want it to take that high out. That's what I'm looking for. Through that, I think we get going. Market's starting to get going. Come on. Come on, market. Failing to take that high out there. Want to see it get through that high. 556. Might as well call it 550. Very close to doing it. I wonder if it needs another pullback. Where's that buyer on the tape? 75s. Big lockdown at 75s. That's very, very deep. 475. Don't want it to wash down there to pick him up. He needs to move up on the tape. Come on. This is the move. Go. Go, 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 go. You've got them trapped. Go. Just do it. Do it. There you go. Thank you. Locking some in there. All right, now, next leg. Can we get up to previous week high? 589s, 590s through that. Previous day high, 623s, and then Globex 630. So locking some in here. I'm going to move my stop in the money. Just going to get tissue. I'll be right back. Okay, this flag playing out. Like we talked about, there's your orb. There's Globex. You're looking for a trade all the way up into here now. Respect looking left. You must be taking partials. We're in a rotational market. All right, so you got to take partials into these stops. Doom, doom, doom. All right, and I get over here and base, we're going 820,000. That's the play. Talked about it pre-market. This is the play. Shorts are definitely trapped in this now, folks. There we go. Keep going. Hit my target. Previous week high. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Almost there. Almost there. Come on. 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 Don't make me lock some in. Okay, I'm going to sell a little bit there. Oh, come on. Come on. Luna just barging my door open. Hello, Luna. Yeah. That was a good one, Luna. You happy with that? That was a good trade. You want to say hello to the stream? Luna's happy. We're making money. We're making money. It's still going. It's still going. Let's go. Let's go. Here it goes. Previous week high coming, then previous day high. Let's go. There's previous week high. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, got to manage this trade. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Talked about it pre-market. Oh, what a ripper. Hold your runners, looking for previous day high. Make sure you're paying yourself along the way here, folks. Make sure you're paying yourself. But here we go. There's the liquidity. Boom, 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 boom. This is the target. Over this, we're going 800s and 20,000s. I love it when it's like this. It makes life so much easier. Let's go. Let's go. All right, previous week high taken here. This is the weekly high we've just taken. Previous day high is your next level. So weekly high we just took right here, bottom of the red box. This is previous day high. You have Globex just above it. Globex did peak previous day high. All right, so we can move this box up a little bit just so you can see it. Globex right up here. Make sure you are locking in some money. This is a beautiful, beautiful squeeze this morning. We caught those shorts. We caught those shorts versus Globex versus Orb. That was nothing more than encouraging them to get in, and then we went upside. Yeah, exactly. Nice, clean move. Nice, clean move. That's what we like. Was out of partials to take, so I TP'd at previous week high. Hey, still a great trade, Claddin. Well done, everyone. Yeah, lots of you making money here. Just hold those runners. When we get through these levels, then we're going to see who made money altogether. But we can afford it. I mean, right now it can afford a pullback fairly deep down into 550s. Just remember that. We've gone straight up. We have gone straight up. Market going green. VIX, by the way, just took out previous day low. All right, just took out previous day low, so we need to be aware of that. Still think this goes higher. We just need to build out a little bit of liquidity, let the flow zones catch up, possibly build out a continuation pattern, which will be what? It will be some form of flag, ideally something like this. Let these catch up and then go. But right now it's got them so caught, it might not do it, but that's what we'd like. Yeah, looking good here. Looking good here. So that 500 over under, we talked about it. It was going to be key for sentiment. It was going to be key, and we got above it and started building liquidity. Here we go. Like we said, we can afford a deeper pullback here. Can absolutely afford one. Still just in range, remember. Until we get outside of previous day high, we're still in an inside bar. So remember, we can be choppy all the time. We're inside range because we're going to build liquidity to do the move. So just remember that, folks. Right? Do not force your way in. It will be choppy inside range. You can absolutely do that. Can afford to come all the way down to 50s here. I want to see them absorb this for a new leg higher. I want to see us get all the way up to Globex, really. see if they can catch this up with the flow zones. It would be nice. We can just go sideways for a bit here rather than too deep. Be nice. Not let shorts out. Don't want to let shorts out too much. If they're adding and adding and adding and adding, I don't want to give them an out. VIX did come underneath previous day low and is trading just about inside of it. So just got my eye on that very carefully here. Remember, this was a squeeze move we were playing here this morning. We're still inside range. Keep saying it, but we're still inside range. You need to respect that. Want to see us go all the way up here, though. Can we build out a flag or a two-leg, something to get up to previous day high and Globex high? Sellers on the tape now above 600, in front of 625, 400 lot up there. I wonder if he's a spoofer like yesterday. Same size as yesterday, funnily enough. All right, so filling some of this imbalance here, you want to sort of see some of this hold here. You going to let me draw a fib, or are you just going to be really annoying? There we go. Yeah, I can afford a deep pullback. You don't want it too deep. Tapping into flow zones there. You want to just see this go sideways. You don't want it to just flush down too much, because then it's going to let shorts out, and then it's very hard to do another leg up on a squeeze then at that point. This is what you don't really want to see. You don't want this to come too deep. Because if we go too deep and we've got that liquidity that we built this morning for the drive up to be used to go down, you see. So you need this to hold somewhere in around here, like we said, 50s. It can afford to come down to 50s. It's where it's come down to. You want to see them find bids here. They really got to step in here. Failure to step in here, I'd be very, very, very concerned. Don't like the lack of structure in general in this move down. It's pretty much straight up, straight back down. We're testing this here. It needs to build this out here. Failure to do that, we open ourselves up for this. Oh my God, TradingView white. Into not allowing me to do Control Z again. That was like the other day. Bizarre. All right, they need to absorb here. You need to see buyers step back in on the tape here. Not seeing it so far. You want to see buyers step back in on the tape for that drive higher. I want to see them reclaim 70s, basically, where they just got that breakdown here. They're trying to step back in. You want to see them reclaim 70s. They've got to reclaim 70s here. Don't want them to sell against this. They've got to get that squeeze back through 70s. It's where we just failed from. If they're going to go upside, here we go. This is what you want to see. There you go. Now can we keep going here? This is where the trap level is. This is where they're going to get caught. They have to get through this and base. If they can't do that, we don't get the move. If they can get through 70s and hold, we're going back upside. That's the rule. Not able to do it. Don't want this to make a new low. Lower low here, game over for the squeeze. Looks good. Needs to hold this. Needs to hold this, what you would call a BPR for you ICT traders on the 1 minute. Needs to basically hold it. And needs to get through 75s, 80s. That squeeze up will take you to 600. Through 600s, we're going for 630s. That's what it's looking to do. Selling on the tape here is in front of 600, 87s. They haven't even come up to him. He's a 400 lot who's walked down there. I bet you he's spoofing as well. I don't reckon he's legit. It's the same size as yesterday. I want to go and see him get tested and him pull and just go straight through it. Yeah, they're trying to sell it. These bears, this is do or die for these bears because they know we get through this level and we get through the previous day high, it's going to slingshot up to probably 820,000. The bears desperate to defend this right now. Again, we're still an inside day, inside range. I'm flat right now. Just going to wait here. This is a big, big battle. Just going to wait here. Telling myself, hey, you made good money. We're in inside. Don't need to force yourself in this market. All right, if you caught any of those longs with me, let me know. Drop me W's in chat. I know lots of you did above, but I'm not going to scroll all the way up. Hopefully lots of you made money there with me this morning. BU, Mike, Peter, Marek, Kaladin, Coop, Brad, Thumper, J Bobs, Brian, Leron, Array, lovely work team, Minux, Jeff, Yulamar, good to see you back, Yulamar, Jesse M, Emmett. Nice work, folks. Still trying to absorb. It's trying to absorb to go higher here. It's desperate to go and just take out Globex highs and previous day high. It's just a battle. It is an absolute battle. VIX turning in. What I don't like is what I'm seeing on the VIX right now. VIX swept previous day low. We didn't take previous day high. VIX about to backtest previous day close. If VIX doesn't sell from here and VIX doesn't have downside pressure, this market cannot move upside. Dopamine Machine got it as well. Russell got it. Nice work, team. Lovely, lovely work. My bias is for an upside move here, but not. I don't like what I'm seeing on the VIX. Good for you, Yulamar. Important to do that. Good for you. Well done for recognizing you needed that time. Still making higher highs and higher lows technically here. But if bulls cannot get that squeeze, they're going to get hurt. It's battleground. Same thing. Same levels that we talked about before matter right here. Right, the question is, do bulls get this move here or do bears get this move here? Low-hanging fruit right now would be previous day high up here at 625. That's my bias. That's where I think we want to go. And I don't mind rejoining in if it can really prove itself. Looking good here. It's that level, that 70 level that we talked about. Look, they just slammed it again. That's numerous times come up there now and finding sellers. Why am I saying that level? It's this transition here. So we get over that, we probably do this. Until that point, it's going to be a battle. You can see it really clear here. We get under, we reject, we reject. This is where buyers got trapped so far. Might need to come back into this. The danger then of being a buyer here is this move. Because remember, we're in what? We're in range rotation. In range rotation, where do we rotate from? Blue to red, red to blue, blue to red. This is a higher low on the hourly. So it's trying to go higher. I'm trying to join in what I think the hourly might want to do. But the hourly now has traded all the way up to where? To resistance. So hourly traded from support to resistance. This is dangerous grounds here. We had a nice, easy trade this morning. Don't want to force myself into this. Okay, let's see what some of you were saying in the chat earlier. Let's go for a read up while we're having a little break here. Oh, lots of you nailed that by the looks of it. The day I decided to use micros on 150k, hey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're using micros, it's fine. It's a smart thing to do in this market. Okay, all the way back down here to PDC. They will need to find a bid here soon on the buyers. Failure to find that bid will mean they're coming back into point of origin. If they can't find a bid here and they start washing, they will become trapped buyers, which means they will become sellers, which is starting to look like what's happening right here. So we drift down. Like we had the easy trade, didn't get to previous day high. That's unfortunate, but we got our money for that move to previous week high. Now we wait. We just wait here. You don't bid against this. Remember, if this wants to go all the way down, it can go all the way down. It can come right down to 200s today if it wants and go for previous day low. This market will do whatever it wants to do. I would say it was a bit of a failed rotation attempt to take out the highs there. So do they find buyers back here into the opening range and Globex? If not, and these are quite strong sells here. You know, if you start to see pops fail, then I'd start to think about a rotation back down at that point. But right now, I'm just trying to obey what I'm looking at on like a 5-minute and a hourly and things like that. Not really too keen on that short yet. Still think they've got a chance to trap. Again, mixed bag here. And the VIX is why I'm not thinking about a long right now. Look at the VIX. Took out previous day low at 2460, has now gone all the way up to 2540. It's not what you want to see if you're thinking about longs. You want to see VIX continuing to trade downside, which we're not getting. And the MAG, again, completely split. A Tesla, 1.45% down. Amazon, 0.85% down. Google, 0.5% down. Nvidia, 0.14% down. Apple now 0.5% up. Microsoft over 0.5% up. Meta, 0.25% up. Mixed bag in tech. All right, so we're not in full alignment here. Remember, we've got earnings coming this week in the MAG. Oh, coffee went down the wrong way. Oof. They're getting stuck here under VWAP. These bulls. I'd be very concerned. This is your Globex. They are getting stuck here at the old point of control. Let's see where POC on this session now is. Right here still. So we're still trading in value from overnight range. We're still trading in value of overnight. And in times of time, let's put this back onto regular trading hours. Yeah, doing the dance right now on the higher time frames. And you see bull stepped in versus these levels here, drifted up. Seller stepped in versus these levels here, drifted down. This is your mean point, right? That's your extremes. This is mean. I don't want to trade in mean. Not when there's no momentum. Now we just wait again. Right, that trade that we took was just shy of 100 points, like 90 odd points. It's a good trade. Anchor view up from cash, overnight highs and overnight lows are all stacked. Yeah, everything's here, isn't it? Everything's here. And tightening of range again. So we just wait again here, folks. Wait until we get alignment. This is it. Got to be a sniper. I'm covered in dog hair now as well. The dog needs a brush. Into the range we continue. If we let go of New York and those lows from this morning, maybe we go previous day low. But until then, I'm not really thinking about anything else. Miguel C. just passed an eval. Nice work, Miguel. Lovely work. All we're doing right now is we're basing on top of the orb. This is where we found buyers this morning that we took that move long for that squeeze to previous week high. If we start failing underneath this and getting stuck, there is a potential short trade back down. Right now, I'm just waiting for alignment. I'm waiting for the market to try and show me its next hand. This can still technically be a higher low here. They can still do this move here for now. But this is pretty strong momentum, but they can still do this. If they start doing this, my bias shifts to this liquidity down here. But midpoint of the range, not too interested in taking a position right now. Some of you might be in shorts looking for that rotation. Not for me, not yet. Not for me. I'd rather wait and make sure that I'm the right side of it. Testing the orb here. Looking for liquidity lower to see if they're going to use anything. There's not much really. 350, 250, they're 44 lots. Strong moves come at 10:30. Yeah, after the initial balance is done. After the first hour of trading. Very, very common. There and the 4 o'clock candles. 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. It's normally when you get big moves. Tapping into the orb here. The opening range high. Tapping into Globex. You're currently in downside momentum now on the lower time frame. That's starting to look like another fail attempt to go higher right now. And I just want to wait. I'm not going to force myself in here. You see earlier, shorts tried to force their way in here and they got trapped. Let's say buyers above here now are now stuck. That's why we bought here and sold into this move. Now I just want to wait. I want to wait. This is not enough liquidity versus this, in my opinion, for me to fade against, especially when I know that this has been a big level all day. So I'm going to try and respect it and just be patient. Again, if that's the only trade I get this morning, so be it. It was a nice trade, 90-pointer. VIX still going upside, 25.50s now. Can't be thinking about longs all the time and seeing that. If pops start to fail, if we push up here and build a right shoulder, then it's going to give you that signature that we want to go lower. If their sellers keep hammering this down, you want to see a decent pop up, a decent drive higher that gets sold into to let you know those sellers are present. I'm not against joining this either way. I just don't want to take a punt on it right now. Flow zones and VWAP and lower time frame algo are all very, very close, along with PDC, PWC. Everything's very, very close. Opening range now set, and we are right in the middle of it. So here's your opening range, your initial balance. Those are your extremes. Buyers trying to step in where we found buyers earlier in the day. Remember, this is where buyers came in earlier in the session. This still has the chance to make a higher high here on a deep pullback. If sellers come in here and they get this, then I'm going to think about the short. If sellers come in here and slam it, then I'm going to think about short, but not until that happens. Until then, I'm still cautious about that move higher. But if they create this quasi or right shoulder, you've got a clear neckline and they can break this for these moves here, then I'll think about short, but not until then. Until then, I'm still thinking about highs. Definitely had unfinished business up here. SPY failed to break out of its pre-market highs there on that drive higher. Failed to take out previous day high. Lower time frame is trying to move into a sell. I need to see them build this out. Otherwise, I still think there's potential for a squeeze. Guess what? That 400 lot, he's just left. Just left the building. Again, range rotation, we're still an inside day. Remember that. Just keep looking at the daily. Remind yourself the range that you're playing in. You're an inside day. Nothing else right now other than an inside day. Right here. Third day in here. This is what they want. This is also an option. We will use this liquidity in here, 3 days of liquidity in here. One way or another, we will use it. Don't become the liquidity. Inside days are just range rotational days. They're not trending markets. So inside days are not trending markets. We just go extreme to extreme, extreme to extreme until enough is caught. And eventually, we either get a breakout or a failed breakout. Very different to a trending market, an inside bar. Here's the push back up. They're trying to reclaim VWAP here. SPY about to come into its VWAP, all right? So it's about to back test its VWAP from the underside. It's about to back test it to see if there are sellers there. If there are no sellers there and there's no sellers at PDC on the SPY, then we're going to go back for that pre-market high. Like I said, I'm not short here until it proves. It would have to prove to me. Otherwise, there's a chance for that two-leg kind of trap. 1, 2, and if they start doing this, we've got unfinished business up here. If they start selling versus this, you don't even need to sell here. You can just wait and join. Do not need to be first to the party. Let everyone else pay for it. Let them become the liquidity. Nvidia now green, Meta now green, Microsoft now green, Apple now green. And we are battling here, folks. The MAG are in a battle. SPY through the VWAP, testing PDC now. Reclaim that on the SPY, and it's going to want to try and drive back upside. It's just whether it's got enough caught here again. If it hasn't, and sellers come in here versus PDC, and they start slamming it back under VWAP, then you're going to go leg down towards New York Open, and then maybe previous day low if they've got enough in there. Big ifs. 200 lot here at 550. All right, 200 lot on the tape here at 550. Let's see if he's legit. I've got a feeling none of these are legit today. I think Mr. Spoof has been back in the tape the last few days. I don't know what his game plan is right now. So SPY rejecting PDC there so far on this 5-minute bar. Let's see how this closes. I'd say SPY right now, if pullbacks hold 550 even, 550.10, it's got a chance to drive higher. If it keeps failing in front of 551, that's your kind of range on the SPY. You got basically a point range, 551 to 550. That's the decision point. Same as we're in here really on the NQ, sort of 19,540 versus 19,480. So 60-point range for them to make a decision to build liquidity. Right shoulder, for that head and shoulder break to the downside or trap to go all the way back upside. And I'm not against this being a trap. If it's going to be a trap, it's going to prove itself and it's going to get going. The shorts are going to get very uncomfortable. If you don't see pops fail here, then there's no sellers in the market. Right, remember, sellers need lower highs and lower lows. If they don't get that, this is where they'll get caught. This is still a higher low. ES through PDC here. This is starting to look more and more like they've trapped the sellers here again. So I'm trying to find a way to get involved here if that's going to be the case. So we'll need a pullback to hold. Need a big pullback and to see them just come in and bid it up. Again, don't want to get caught on a quasi or something like that. But if we get a pullback that holds, then I think there's moves for the upside. Got a small piece in this now, just in case it doesn't pull back. Stops already in the money. Stuff for that last transition. Lovely. Keep going. Get through those 70s. Those 70s, 75s again going to be key. Just trying to join a bit of momentum here. Still want a deeper pullback for me to get involved in with any size versus 35s or something. Pullback versus 35s that holds. We get that inverse head and shoulder look. We build out that right shoulder on the inverse, and I think we can go upside. We've definitely caught shorts here again. Here we go. It's definitely caught shorts here again. Like I said, not thinking short until that neckline breaks, and this is why. Because on the hourly, we're still higher. We still made higher lows. Everyone gets so caught up that it comes deep. But this is a higher low. Shorts don't get the break there. They get stuck here again. What's this? Where buyers got involved this morning. They bid it up again. Looking for something like that, ideally now. Again, if it's like yesterday, when shorts are caught, you would have seen yesterday, when shorts are caught, it doesn't give that move. Think about yesterday afternoon. We talked about it in Discord. When shorts are caught, we just go one way. Look at this yesterday. Into demand yesterday. There's your W. Boom, 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 boom. That was it. Buy. No real pullback here. Straight upside. That's because they are just getting squeezed out. That's what happens when shorts are caught. When you get that straight move upside, that's not big buying coming in the tape. That's shorts covering on market. So I want to see a pullback here to create this, which is exactly what we created earlier. Right? I'm looking for the same type of thing. I want to create this to go higher right now for the unfinished business at previous day high. That's what I'd like. It's just whether it's going to offer it to me. Right at those 70s. I don't really want to buy these 70s up here. This is where we got stuck earlier. This is where the shorts pain is. I want a pullback. I've just got a feeling it's not going to give it. And here goes the VIX back down to the downside. This is what you want to see. Please pull back for me. Please let me get in. I don't think you're going to let me get in with any more size. I think that's it. I think that's it. Oh, you're going to stop them all out. 79 stops them out. 79.80 runs their stops. And then you probably just go on a ripper. Please come back for me, market. Come on. It's just straight up, isn't it? The moment we got them caught, vroom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. 8 minutes straight up, no pullback. Into the shorts pain point. 79.80, same level we talked about earlier, right? This is where they got trapped. This transition here, buyers got trapped. Shorts came in. So where's short stops? Here and here. So where does market want to go? Take these guys out, they get the stop run up to here, they cause the move to previous day high. What would I like? Pullback for me to get involved to join for these moves into the stop runs. Multi-time frame, currently bearish. Need a deep pullback here for me, please. Not like a 1 point pullback. Lots of sellers here starting to stack up in front of 600, all right, on the tape. 400 lots, 210 lot, 203 lot, 24 lot, 22 lot, 16 lot. They're all stacking up here just in front of 600. I want a pullback. I do not want to buy into 600. I want a pullback. Please offer me something to get involved in market. Flow zones are very far away, but I want to see this right shoulder build out to give us a chance to get involved. It's just going to go, isn't it? I'm just going to have this little 1-1. And this little 1 on, and that's it by the looks of it. Here we go. There's the 80 stop run. This should go all the way up now. You bugger. Yeah. Just got a little 1 guy on, and that's it. Clean 80 break takes us to initial balance high, I would say. Clean 80 break. I've moved my stop up into the money here. Love a pullback. Give me a pullback. Give me a pullback. You're not going to give me a pullback, but I want a pullback. Do you know what it is, Aga? I talk to it as well because it helps reinforce in my own mind what I want to do. It's a bit like visualization. If you say it out loud, then you understand what you're going to do. If you say, hey, I'm not chasing this market up here. I want a pullback. I'm looking to size in on a pullback. I'm going to wait for the turn. Then you're already programming it into your brain. All right, deep, 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 deep. Come right back down. Deep, 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 deep. Deeper the better here. Deeper the better here. I also want to see, I'm watching VIX carefully. I don't want to join if VIX is going to go on some stupid move. I want some pullback here to get involved in. That 80 level, definitely key for these shorts. You can see it's been keyed. I'm in now. Come on, now go for a ripper. You've trapped them. You've trapped them. Go. Selling a little one there just in case. I'll just wait now. Wait and refresh. Maybe it comes down and lets flow zones catch up there. It can afford to come down to 30s. I know that's wild, but it can. Can afford to come down to 30s here. Mag's still not in agreement here, folks. Just so we're aware. VIX trying to find a bid. I want to be careful if VIX holds a bid at 25. I want to see the VIX let go of 25 like it's trying to now and wash underneath 24.60. That's what I want to see the VIX do before I size in. I'm risk off, just waiting now. Well, I'm watching this VIX down here very, very, very carefully. Need to see more sellers get caught. Not liking what I'm seeing here on the VIX. Yeah, this is the pullback I'm looking for. Just looking for alignment now. My bias is upside. I'm just looking for alignment now. Want VIX to reject 25s. Which is trying to do here. VIX is trying to do it. Waiting here carefully. Like I said, this can come all the way down to 30s if it wants. Want to be careful. Want to be careful if these sellers step in hard here. Already locked in very good money today, so I'm trying to be like not overconfident, remembering we're in range. If they want to protect the initial balance, they can protect the initial balance. Here's ES back to PDC. We're not too far away from this either. It's starting to try and catch some shorts here. It's just whether too many bulls get caught at the same time. Not liking what I'm seeing here on the VIX, reclaiming 25s. That is not a good look on the VIX right now. Can wait for this to turn. If it's going to go, it should be an absolute ripper. VIX now 25.10s. Need to see VIX start to reject. If we're going to go, we've got to go. Holding flow zones here. If we're going to go, we've got to go. If we're going to go, let's do it then. Let's do it then. Let's do it then. If you're going to go, start squeezing. I want to see rejection of 25s. There we go, VIX. Start to sell under that 25s now, please, so we can time this for everyone. Don't want to see you battle here. I want to see you start to let go. Holding flow zones here. You can afford to let this build out. Be very, very careful here. It can come down to here if it wants. You can afford to let this build out and do something like this. You don't need to join here if you're not comfortable joining dips. Think about what type of trader you are. Understand your risk management. If you're the type of person to go add, don't be joining here. Right, wait for it to set something for you to take and risk off. Starting to look better though. Just VIX is making this hard. Want spiders to start going as well here. Looking good. If new 5-minute bar here will be important here. So I'm flat right now. I'm just waiting. Again, I've locked in good money here today. Just waiting right now. Thanks, Glenn. Glenn saying, thanks, mate. I'm out. Good luck to the Gooners today for the... Mate, get out of here. If we destroy PSG, then I want you to say that we're the better team because you lost to PSG. So you can buy me a beer and just say you're the better team. If anyone didn't know, Glenn in chat is a Liverpool fan. Yeah, there you go. Champione. Well, hopefully we win Europe, mate. I'm happy. I'd be happy with that. If we win the Champions League, I'll be happy with that. All right, starting to look a little better here. VIX under 25s, key level 25s on the VIX, starting to look better here for that drift up. Market wants to get to previous day high. SPY wants to take out previous pre-market highs. God, I can't talk here. Pre-market highs. Can it get going? Nice. Here you go. Let's go. Come on. Too much fanning around here today. Let's just go. Here we go. Needs to pop these stops at 70s and 80s. They've been a big level all day. The moment we get through those 70s and 80s, I expect us to go straight up to 600s here. If you're trading this, it's starting to look good. Like you said, you don't have to buy the dips here. You can wait for the turn. You can wait for something in here to try and hold for this move. Again, this is a micro inverse head and shoulders. Here is your head and shoulders. So you're looking for the same thing here as we did here. This is the same thing here that we did here. All right, same patterns over and over. If this dip holds, we should go straight through this up to here. It's offered you the exact trade we just talked about. You can wait for this trade with a set risk, with a reward up here. VIX is the only thing making this hard for you right now, I promise you. Everything else is looking good. This should get going, really. Especially the VIX lets go. Come on, market. God, I'm going to go to sleep here if you can't do this. This really should not be this hard. Mixed bag in the mag probably making it a bit harder. Tesla being weak, making it harder. Everything else looks not too bad. Nvidia's got the chance of going red to green. Google's got a chance of going red to green. Amazon's a bit far away, over 0.5%, 0.75% down. Sorry, 0.2% down. Tesla 1.25% down. That's dragging the market. Tesla can get a bump here, and the market can get going. We've got that chance to get through previous day high up to Globex 630s. So I'll be looking to see if we can break 580s here. Take us to 600, break of 600, take us to 623, break of that, all the way up to 630s, the overnight high. Failure to hold here, then we go back in rotation all the way back down. It's going to be very, very boring to trade that for the rest of the day. So the better trade here is if it goes upside, because it sets up everything better, basically. If it can't do it, it's a bit pathetic. And we've got liquidity on the book there, in front of 600. That 400 lot is still there. Twice over. VIX now starting to fail that 25. So it really should not be finding it this hard to do it. So reminding myself, this is a point of control on the day. Lots of volume up here. We need to get above point of control to take ownership of this as a buyer. All the time we can't do that. We know buyers this morning are trapped above here. This is where buyers are trapped. We are still in a rotational day from here, so we need to respect that. If you don't like this buy, you can simply wait for this to happen later. I can't believe how much this market's struggling to do a very basic move. Felt like that yesterday as well. when you release the flow zones for Tradeovate, we'll never be releasing them for Tradeovate, unfortunately. Their coding is terrible, and you don't need. You can trade on NinjaTrader or TradingView if you have Tradeovate. Can't. Unfortunately, the coding on Tradeovate is a pain in the butt. I'll have a look at it, but you would have seen even if you put EMAs on Tradeovate, they look so ugly. They're like really thick and horrible. The third-party ones are terrible on there. I'll have a word with my coder, but I don't think enough people use it. So dip's still holding here in flow zones. They're still looking to build that liquidity for that move higher. The VIX is being a pain in the bum, hovering around the 25s. And the mag can't make its mind up. Tesla, a bit more selling coming in there on Tesla. My bias is still upside here for unfinished business at previous day high, but it's a bit like yesterday. We're into that chop zone. It's building out liquidity. We've struggled here numerous times. Just look at the hourly chart. You can see we've struggled here overnight numerous times. Yeah, I think they'll fix it because NinjaTrader now own it. So I think they'll just probably change it eventually so that it maybe works with NT8 indicators. That would be my guess, so it looks and feels better. And it can afford to just wait here, folks. Can afford to let it make its decision. My bias remains upside for that move to previous day high. But you can afford to wait and let it do it and join afterwards. All right, you can see it's been a battle. This has been their line in the sand all morning. They failed above this, buyers. This is the line in the sand for sellers. We get above this, we do this move. This is just building out liquidity. I'm not interested. We've had an attempt in here. I'm not interested again. I'm just going to wait now. Can they get that move? Can join. If this is a W, you can join once we get above it, or even better, above here. Even better, above here. Start taking out daily stops, and we hold above. There's a nice trade there. If we fail, a rotational trade. This would be a failed auction, and we come all the way back down. View up, IB low. New hourly bar here coming in 7 minutes. Guess what? That 400 lot just disappeared. Who'd have guessed that that is a spoofer again on the tape? Like I said, didn't think he was real. He's just gone again. What a waste of time that man is. VIX now starting to fail 25s. Can we get going here, market? Why are you stuck? Come on, just go up. It's really not that hard to get up to previous day high here and go and run the stops. Stop making it so difficult. We're getting bored in chat waiting for you. Go. Just go and do it. Go and do it. Go on, off you go. Off you go. Up you go, please. There we go. Come on, up you go. Now the VIX is gone. Now that seller's gone. Now everyone's like, oh, he's not real. We can go upside. Yes, you can. Go, 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 go. Go and get through 70s and 80s. Let's go up to previous day high. Let's get to 600s. Let's get through absolutely everything here. Let's give the chat a nice trade for the last hour. Let's go through 600 and go to 820,000 on the day. So we can all post monstrous winners in chat while probably top step ashore or something like that. I shouldn't wish that on anyone. That's me being an arsehole. Sorry. Come on, market. Just stop fanning around. Get upside. Get through those 70s and 80s. Oh, stop it, Alex. I'm actually going to have a look and see if top step is short. Let's have a look. Oh, they're short. You know way. House account and Dakota short. See you later, guys. You're about to get smashed. Boom! Into the IB high we go. Oh, that is hilarious. Sorry, I am such an asshole. I shouldn't be like that. But, like, what part of this is short? Right, here are your targets. Through this, we're going 800s, right? We get through previous day high. As long as we hold a bid, we're going 800s. Looking good here. Look at the VIX. VIX now joining in. Nothing but net, baby. All day long, baby. Let's go. All right, make sure you're paying yourself a little bit of money. Sorry, we're having fun here. I said on Discord, we need to start having fun again. Right, having fun here. Into that IB high, pay yourself a little bit of money. We get through this IB high. Okay, then we're going to go for previous day high, which is 622. And then overnight high, Globex high, which is 630. We get through that, we're going 800s. All right, so your aim is to get through here, here, and here. We get through that and hold a base. We're going leg up, which is all the way up here. You look good here, folks. You look fantastic here, folks. Get out of my way, Top Step. All right. Let's keep it going. Looking for VIX to break previous day low. I want to see VIX with confluence. By the way, spiders just took out pre-market highs. So we want to see spiders base over pre-market high for that run on the SPY to 553.55. Yeah, you should still have runners in. You look very, very good. Absolutely no reason to hold to sell all your position. Like I said, pay yourself a bit of money, but you should still have runners in, because if you get rid of it all today, if you sell it all right now, and you see this get through 630 base and go to 800, you're going to be very upset with yourself. So make sure you're paying yourself some money. Get your stop in a decent position. All right, if you're up big, especially if you're playing a trailing drawdown type account. So if you're live on Take Profit Trader, or if you're using Apex and stuff and you're not above the buffer, make sure you are using a trail, which, you know, you're not going to give too much money back, because remember, we have just swept IB. There is still the chance, I find it very unlikely in this market, but there's still the chance of a failed auction. All right, there is still the chance we will respect what we're seeing, which is an initial balance and previous day high. We can still fail this auction, but my bet is that this market wants to scream upside right now, especially if we can start going green on the Goog, which it's trying to right now. And we need Tesla to join in. Tesla and Amazon have been a pain in the bum this morning. They don't want to join in. So like I said, you should be paying yourself some money and waiting. Where would I add? I'd be very cautious about adding yet. You could potentially, I don't know where you got in, Yulimar. You don't want to double your size in here if that's where you originally got in. You can actually afford to wait for a break and a retest above these levels now. Yeah, so you can be patient. If you got in here, or if you added in dips, or maybe you took this break of the 70s, we said break of 70s should squeeze up, you can afford to wait for it to do something like this, and you can add in above here. Maybe that pulls back to here, but then we get trend day. Remember, above initial balance, if we can hold, we get trend day. It's the difference between a trending market and a rotational market. I wouldn't add too soon in here, only because there is, although I find it unlikely, the chance of that failed auction, right? So you don't want to add in front of the failed auction. You want to let it get above, retest, and then go again. Looking good here, though, folks. You look very, very nice. Holding previous week highs here. The entry was 19,547 on these dips. Oh, I love it, Yulimar. Beautiful. Beautiful versus this. Beautiful entry. Very nice entry. Up almost 50 points here, Yulimar. Very, very nice. All right, here goes the market. Nvidia now green. You want to see Goog go green. That will really help. We're right at this initial balance high. Like I said, you got to be careful here. W number 3, Jeff. Hey, high five. W's in chat today, team. We are absolutely crushing today in chat. Nothing better than seeing you lot win, and nothing better then us calling the market ahead of time so you understand what I'm looking at and why, because you really need to learn to trade so that when I'm not here, because I'm going to be honest, YouTube is tiring. I love doing YouTube, but it is exhausting. There will be days when I'm not here. It's important that you guys know how to trade it. Do not just want to be following my signals. That's why I try and teach while I go. I think I'm one of the only platforms that teach while I trade, rather than just saying, hey, I'm entering here or I made money here. Here we go. Previous day high coming up here, folks. Previous day high, and then you're looking for that break of the Globex high. God, almost can get my words out there. Globex high, so you're looking for 620, 630s. Is what the market will want to try and do. Whether it can do it or not is another thing, but that's what the market wants to try and do, 620s, 630s. And through that, potentially all the way up to 800s, like we said. Not out the question. Come on, market. Just go and do it. Go and take out the daily highs. You're this close, you might as well go and do it. There's 600, the over-under here. Looks good. Looks good for me. I think this wants to do it. This wants to get to previous day high, and then the Globex high is what it wants to try and do. It's showing that it wants to do it. It's just whether it's got enough shorts trapped in here to do it. It's a big level. 50-day moving average right now at 730s. Should have the juice to do it if we can base here. Remember, still got a chance of a failed auction. Just want to say that. All the time we're around this level, you want to be very careful. Still got the chance of a failed auction. I don't think we're going to do a failed auction, but we have to respect what's in front of us. VIX is holding in front of previous day low. We would like VIX to let go of previous day low just to make our life a little bit easier. Spider's got very close to PDH there. Not too far. Coming back. They're coming back to back test the initial balance right now. Thank you, Stacy. Appreciate it. So let's see if we can build out some liquidity here for that drive higher through PDH and Globex. It can afford a pullback like that last one into 80s, remember, because this is basically your RBS. And we said this was the stop run. It can afford a pullback into here. Again, under here, I don't like it. No longs under here. No way, Jose. That is dangerous territory. So it needs to hold this kind of level here for me. And ideally, hold these levels. That's even better. Because then we know all the higher time frame sellers are out the way at that point. No one on the tape here until we get to 650 right now. Take care, Peter. Nice work today. So here's that pullback we just talked about. It needs to hold this. Failure to hold this, I don't like the longs anymore at that point. So it needs to hold this pullback into these levels. Back to flow zones, back to the RBS. If it can't hold this level, then we go back into rotation. You have to be aware it's potentially, or there can potentially be a failed auction like we keep talking about. That's why it's important to pay yourself in a rotational market. So far, buyers trying to step in here. Watching the volume here. Volume's, what was that volume spike? Maybe I've trapped too much volume up high so far. Coming back to test point of control at 67s here. Buyers need to hold this. Failure to hold this will be problematic for these buyers. Failure to hold this will be definitely be problematic for these buyers. POC at 67s, like we just talked about. Yeah. So it's trying to find a bid at that point of control, at that RBS level. Now or never, really, for this market. Now or never. Kaladin, I'm out. He says daily target plus plus plus. Finished today. Have a great day, everyone. Nice work, Kaladin. Congratulations. Always nice to hit a daily target, isn't it? So the question here again, do they do that inverted head and shoulder look, which they've been loving to do all day? This is the kind of trap look, if they can do it. You want to be very careful if sellers keep selling versus this. You want to be very careful if they get stuck under this. This is not where I'd want to be actioning trades under here. You will need to hold this for buyers, really. Failure down into this range, I think you are very, very risky at that point. You could argue into here, but I'd much rather join the upside if it gets up and above the key levels now. So it's a shame that we didn't take out previous day high. No one on the tape. Tape's very thin on the NQ. It's like 20 lots and 15 lots, nothing notable. Bias remains upside till proves otherwise. That's a decent push there off that 67. That was the point of control. If they fail here at previous week high in this 1 minute imbalance, I'd be concerned. If they reclaim this, I think you got a good shot of going higher. Again, VIX is a bit tricky. You want VIX underneath previous day low and current day low, and it's not right now. Setting up for a potential squeeze here. Back into the initial balance coming up. This is the key level, this imbalance on that sort of 1 minute kill candle where we see this move here. If they sell this and they do this, they get that rotation. If they reclaim this, these shorts get stuck. Sensitive levels here, folks. They're big levels. It's a big level that we're trading in and around. We break out of this. We break out of a 2-day range. If we break out that previous day high and find bids above it, we break out of a 2-day range. Then we can really start to gun upside. Like I said, the ultimate target on the daily is that old wick at 20,070 or whatever it is, right the way up there, and the 200-day moving average, which is just above it. So a back test of the 200-day, very, very common. Start reclaiming that. The 5-day starts getting through that. Oh my God, the short's going to get caught. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get up there and set a little bull trap. Here we go. They're trying to get that squeeze. If shorts don't come in here, they're going to get caught. If shorts don't come in here, they're going to get caught and we go for previous day high. This is their only chance they've got right now to set a lower high. And they will need a lower low. Just going to get a refill here. Hopefully it doesn't do all the move without me. All right, no change. Lower time frame shorts trying to come in and protect that level. My bias remains upside. There's no shift yet, but if the shorts can get a break of structure down here, then they've got a chance. They're starting to add liquidity higher now. 650, seller up there. 630, seller up there. They're trying to drift it higher. VIX just basing around previous day low. You want to see it get heavy. Where are we at with the rest of the market? All right, Tesla still red, 1.15%. Google still over 0.25% down. Amazon 0.2% down. Nvidia flirting right now, red to green, green to red. So it's right on previous day close. Meta only 0.14% up. Microsoft 0.70% up. Apple 0.54% up. So relative strength in Microsoft again. Really like that name. Strong name. Yeah, ES failing initial balance. There's still chance of a failed rotation. Like I said, it's possible. It's possible of a failed rotation. Abe, win or lose, I love trading with you. So much teaching and accurate reads. Thank you. Hey, thank you for the kind words. You are welcome. These are the battlegrounds, right? On the 1 minute chart, you can see they are trying. The shorts are desperate to create a lower high, lower low to get this wash. But as soon as you move up to something like a 5 minute, it doesn't look very bearish, does it? And this is what I mean about the multi-time frames. Bulls on a 5 minute trying to hold this. It's important to understand like the multiple time frames. Here go the shorts having a good old go at this failed auction here. Right, so they've got this break of this internal low. So they've got this first move down that they want. They want to sweep these now. They get heavy under this and they retest and stay heavy. We can start washing aggressively for them. I'm just waiting right now. We've had some great moves. It had a real good chance to get to previous day high there. It missed it. We hit a high of day of 616.75. Previous day high was 623. So we were close, man. We were very, very close to getting that final target. And Spiders took out pre-market high, didn't get to previous day high. Q took out pre-market high, didn't get to previous day highs. Q's hit 474.66, previous day high at 474.80s. Very, very close. Heaviness coming into this market. Look at the VIX protecting previous day low, all right? This is why I was like, don't like the bullish move until VIX starts to play. It's not playing ball. We made good money today, folks. Do not get that twisted. We had a 100-point move followed by, I don't know where all of you entered in this, but if you just took this break here, 50s or 60s up to here, that's another 50, 60-point move. So we've made like over 160 points here as a team today. Do not be forcing your way in. Just relax now. Relax, 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 relax. Let it set up and build liquidity. It doesn't have to do the moves we want, remember. And even if it wants to do it, it might need to trap, and it might take some time to do that. The H1 is starting to look good, though. Look at this H1 now. What is the pattern we've been playing all morning? What can this H1 do? What happens if we do this and rocket ship? Right? Rocket ship if the H1 can do that. So we've got to give it time. Yes, it does. The flow zones don't do everything. Oh, not the current. Sorry, the current high and low of the day. No. I'm always looking at the previous day's levels and previous week levels. And Globex. You'll be able to see the current day high and low just by looking at your chart, though, Richard. It'll be right there in front of you. Remember, Globex will be the extremes if we haven't taken it, and then I'm assuming you're a New York trader, then you can see New York right in front of you. Yeah, exactly, Aga. Like 5 minute can still be bullish. This is what I'm saying. This can be a sweep on a 5 minute to find a bid. So it's multiple time frames starting to trade against each other here. So we just wait. We just wait. I don't want to be too bullish if VIX is going to, play games here between PDC, PDL. Back to 25 again here on the VIX. Now, the Microsoft and Apple are now the only two that are green on the day. Amazon now 0.83% down, starting to sell. Google 0.5% down. So those two couldn't close the gap and get green. They had a shot, couldn't do it. Meta flirting red to green, but just still red. And that went green on the day and gone back red. Nvidia 0.13%. Again, that went green, gone back red. So it went red to green, green to red. Tesla 1.66% down. We have to be aware, not all the market is ready for that bullish move yet. Again, I do not want to trade. Where's my mouse? I do not want to trade in here anymore. We had this chance. That is a lower high, isn't it? And this is a lower low versus this. Need to be careful. They want to come down, they can. I would rather wait and be late now, right? I would rather, personally, I'd rather wait for this now. If they're going to do it, I'd rather wait. Because at that point, I know everyone's out. We retest it, we find buys, and I know where we're going. This is a danger zone. This is where Maverick likes flying. I'm not Maverick. I'm Iceman. Not playing like Maverick. Alex, do you use 3-minute charts to read the market or just to execute? I mainly execute on a 1 and 2 minutes. But I'm using daily, hourly, 15, 5. And over here are all 5-minute charts and 15-minute charts. But I mainly execute on the 1 and 2 minute. And that's what I like executing on. 3 minutes, okay. But in this current market, because of the ATR, on a 3 minute, if you're going to use 3-minute swings in this market, those swings can be 100 points sometimes in this market. That's the only thing. Not today, because today the range has tightened up. You know, we got 100 and, well, with that little peak above, we were about a 200-point range. IB is 197.5 points, and we just peaked above it. So we're about 200-point range on the day, which for this market is small. For a normal market is very, very good. But for this market is small. So we're starting to coil and consolidate. The 5-day and the 50-day. All right, here's your 5-day. 520 cross, 5's here, 50 days about here, 200 days like up here. All right, so we're starting to consolidate, and you might be like, why are we using these SMAs? No one cares about the SMAs. Institutions care about the SMAs. Absolutely care about the SMAs. The 200-day, let's just put this on the chart so we've got it. Okay. This purple line is our mean of the Bollingers. All right, this is 2 sigma, 2 sigma, or 2 standard deviation, 2 standard deviation. This is your mean. This is our 5-day trend. This is where we're trending in a week. Looking good. Where are we coming to? 50-day. All right, 50-day moving average. This is basically almost like your quarterly moving average. We get through that, we test a yearly moving average. These matter. All right. When 5-day, 20-day, 50-day is over 200-day, we are multi-time frame bullish. Until then, these can still be back tests to sell into. I do not expect us just to do this like very quickly. These are going to take time to converge because the higher the moving average, the longer it takes. Look, if we look back in history, you'll see what I mean. I'll make this really clear. 200-day, all right, technically, is a very, very strong buy and sell point. When we're under the 200-day, we are in a bearish market. You can see how long we hold these levels for. And there's your COVID low, and we snap and reclaim, and then we go above 200-day. We go above 50-day. We get stuck under 50-day, 50-day 200 cross, back test it, heavy. You'll notice here, this is very similar to where we're at now. Let me just zoom into this. All right, big old pullback with a bit of a wick bottom and a W, and we drive up and we start reclaiming everything, and we go above, but we get stuck at the 200. This back test of the 200 holds, and we go all the way down for fresh lows. Think about where we are now. It's very possible. Here's your W. It's very possible we go up for that back test of the 200, maybe steal this liquidity and come back down. It doesn't have to do this huge bullish move that everyone's talking about. Although, yes, the rest of the year we're going all the way up here. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. But in terms of what I'm seeing here, there's nothing yet until we do that, that says we go back to all-time highs. We can very easily come back, test, and come back down. We're back testing key levels. We are bearish from an institutional point of view based on the 200-day all the time. We're under that yellow line. All right, so I'm expecting us to back test this to steal this liquidity. Maybe this 200-day comes down to here and it all times out. And then we trade back downside. And then can we put in at that point a high, low, high, high, and a reclaim? Because if we can't, think about if we steal this and we come back down and we start getting stuck at a 20-day, this doesn't look so good, does it? It really doesn't look so good at that point. So there's lots to play for right now, which is why higher time frame bears are trying to defend levels. Right, all the way back to VWAP. Like I said, not interested in trading this to the long side right now. We will wait. We will just wait. It's a decent trend down here. You're in a sell. We're now underneath these pivots. If they start reclaiming this, maybe. But it's had enough opportunity to try. Again, this can still be a higher low. I'm going to still say this. These can be higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. This can still be a higher low to try and come up here. But I will wait now. Make good money on the day. Not going to force my way in. We've got 40 minutes left. And especially the VIX still doing that dance. PDC to PDL. Take care, Tyson. Hey, I love it. Thanks, Richard. Andrew, you got to sing. You got to sing all the songs for me later on mic. All the Top Gun theme tunes. All right, letting this build. We're holding VWAP here. We're holding the lower time frame algo. We're right back at PDC. We're still inside. This is still an inside bar. VIX is trying to find a bid above 25. Back to PDC as well. QQQ on PDC. The spiders can still trade all the way down here to 550.90s. That's where VWAP and PDC is. Failure underneath that, we go and attack where we found buyers earlier. 549.40s down to 550s on the SPY. So sellers trying to take control here. Remember we said if they created that lower high here and create a lower low, then they take control on a lower time frame. And we're trading right back into big H1 levels now. Where did we come out of this morning? Sellers. Do they become buyers on this back test? Or do they just take control and come all the way back down? Again, I will repeat what I've said all day. We are in a range rotational market. High lows here. Flat tops here. This is what you have right now. This is a squeeze pattern. Fail under here, sellers take control. Get above this and hold, which is what I'd like to see for me to get bullish. We go upside. Until then, we've had the easy trades. This is range rotation. They will keep doing the same things they've been doing. Look at the patterns on the H1. Make sure I'm on the right chart here. Look at the patterns you keep seeing. Big squeeze up, deep pullback. Big squeeze up, deep pullback. Big squeeze up, very deep pullback. Big squeeze up, deep pullback. Big squeeze up. They might get shallower and shallower. If you start seeing this, this is where you get that move. If we start getting under here, I'm really not interested one bit in being a buyer, that is. A strong trend on this lower time frame now. Do not want to be trying to bid against this right now. There's your channel. I'm just chilling out here. We made that money on those 2 moves this morning. 2, maybe 3 moves. I can't remember. Maybe 3 trades. Now we wait. Mag all green, green, Jesus. Mag all red here other than Microsoft and Apple still. starting to feel heavier and heavier and heavier here. You've got to wonder how many buyers tried to get that move that we looked for and didn't take partials, but it can still produce a higher low here in the day. What I should do here, just so you can see it, is also do this. This is kind of the battle, I guess. This right here. Right, these are the battle zones. And just make it easy for yourself. Just wait. If there's no momentum, don't be forcing. Most of you should have made your money. Like, the only targets left to hit for the upside was previous day high and Globex high. That was all we had. After that, it was a new trade setup. Now we just wait. Just wait. Let it do what it needs to do. We're coming into lunch. We're still an inside bar. Nothing's changed here at all. Same message I gave to Discord this morning when I came to the charts. I was like, nothing's changed. Same levels. We're just trading the same levels right now for the last 3 days until it proves otherwise. So we can afford to be patient. Buyers trying to step in here versus VWAP. Do they reject where we failed from? Do they start reclaiming? This is sort of the no man's land. Buys above here, potential. Not much volume in this recent push up. VIX starting to turn here. Just check. Is there any news hitting the headlines here? It's not a big move, but I can see Donald's tweet for a start. Okay. Not much hitting the headlines. Just going to use the bathroom, be right back. No worries. Yeah, no worries. 145. Yeah, no worries, bud. Catch you later. Wait. Sorry, team. All right, let's have a look. Anything on the book here? Still doing the same dance here, folks. Just trapped inside range. I think we've had the easiest moves of the day. 30 minutes left. We're still inside the initial balance. Liquidity starting to leave the book before lunch. Not seeing much there. There are some orders. Looking up high to see what's up there. There's a 91 lot at 650. 60 lot just in front of it. There's just under a 50 lot in front of 800. And then 850, 35 lots. See, I'd love that trade up to 800 if we got over 600. So probably going to set price alerts. But I will not be here this afternoon. Many of you know my beloved Arsenal are playing in the Champions League. And I'm also picking up pickleball for the first time today. See if my knees and hips can take it. Give it a go. We've got half an hour left, team. Nothing I'm particularly looking at here. There is, I mean, you could argue there's a fade, but we're above VWAP. There was that fade, I guess, from the initial balance down to here, but I'm probably done right now for the day unless something really clean and obvious. The pickleball was dangerous. Why is it dangerous, Andrew? I'm going to break my back. Getting old. Maurice, I watch you every day and love the way you analyze the market. Hey, thanks, Maurice. J Bob, I'm green. Setting level alerts. I'm probably calling it. It's been fun trading on this channel. Good luck to the gunners. Hey, thanks, J Bobs. Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, I'm sure. Before you all leave me, though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button underneath. Do me a favor, help this channel grow. It means a lot. Channel's growing every single day. We caught some really nice winners on stream today. Still fading this market so far. ES coming back down to its VWAP and PDC. We're already under that on the Qs. Get rid of this now. SPY coming back down to that same level. PDC and VWAP. Do they find buys down here? Probably true, Andrew. I mean, I feel like I get injured no matter what I do nowadays. My body's absolutely broken. But I've got to do something. I hate running. I love cycling, but I haven't been out for a little while. I've got to do something to move my body. So I thought, give it a go. The guy I'm playing with has probably got to be 15 plus years older than me. So hopefully he's not too fast. He looks pretty fit, though. All right, ES trying to find a bid off the VWAP and PDC, and SPY not there yet. It's coming into it. Let's see if SPY finds a bid there. If it doesn't, we fade all the way back down to that pivot low here. Sellers taking control here now. Market starting to sell more aggressively here, but ES, SPY at those big levels. VIX still stuck between PDC and VWAP. That is the chop zone in VIX. It's quite a tight zone, and that's where it's chopping. Age is just a number. Yeah. I don't know if I agree. My body hurts more and more every day, so I don't know what that is. And I'm pretty fit and healthy. I would make a bad taste joke, but then I feel like everyone would just leave the chat, so I'll be quiet. So SPY trying to find a bid off that VWAP at the moment. Tesla still heavy on the day, 1.61% down. Nvidia 0.13% down. Meta 0.03% down, flirting red to green. Google just under 1% down. Amazon just under 1% down. Microsoft 1/3% up. Apple 1/4% up. Market not in agreement here. They're not all in sells. They're not all flushing down really hard, but they're definitely not finding bids right now. Might be that we just have another inside day. Unless we get above that previous day high and start to base. I'm not really keen on taking a trade in the inside range. We talked about it this morning. Unless something's clean and obvious, you could, you could say that we want to bid off this. And that'd be the pullback to bid off. It's possible, but I'd rather it really confirms and shows me. I don't want to be early to anything right now into lunch and then give back any profits. Any questions in the chat before we get leaving? 20 minutes left. I might leave early if there's nothing set up. For those of you trading prop firms, 2 of the sales will end. One of these sales is wrong. This should be 80%, but this will end at the end of the month. You got a couple more days to get 80% off your Apex accounts if you're looking to load up. Best deals right now are on the 150, 250, and 300K. Make sure you like trading those, though, before you get them. They're very hard to pass. You need to be able to deal with big swings because you're going to have to size up. Tradeify still has its sale on. This ends end of the month. Again, they are my #1 prop firm. All right, by far, especially the growth account for newer traders, it is by far the best account to have. 30% off for all accounts there, 40% off for first-time buyers. If you're already a profitable trader and you want to skip that process, you can also go straight to funding and take profit traders. Still have a sale on, 30% off for life, no activation fee. Use code FLOWZONE for that. And FZT for the other 2. My opinion on Trader8 versus Ninja Trader all day long. Not even close for me. They're the same company, but I really like Ninja Trader. My indicators are on Ninja Trader. It's desktop application. But if you're using a Mac or if you're traveling, the nice thing nowadays is you get your accounts on Trader8 and you log those into Ninja Trader. And then if you're away from your desk and you need to trade, on a traveling laptop where you don't have the screen space for Ninja Trader or you've got a traveling Mac, then you can just log into Trader8. So you get the best of both worlds there. I like Ninja Trader. I like the ATM system. I like the ability to manage trades. But it is more advanced than Trader8. Trader8's like a nice, easy way to start. Starting to build here. It's starting to try and build liquidity here to move higher. VIX still inside that PDC and PDL. Nvidia gone green now. Meta gone green now. So the market's trying to get a little bit of a bump off those. Meta, Amazon, Tesla still all red. This can still be a lower high here on the lower time frame. But if we start to pivot back above those 70s, which have been crucial today, and you can think about that long, you can see this level here has been crucial today. Resistance, resistance, support, resistance, resistance. It will need to get above this, and really above this is better. But if you're looking just to trade into here, above this to the 800s. They might save it for tomorrow. We're just building. Your range really is just this. And even this. Failures underneath. That's where we started the day, but I'd say this is your range. This is the high. This is where it probably wants to try and take out. It's trying to get going. It is trying to get going here. Don't like Tradeovate so far. Yeah, just try something else then, Maurice. Remember, you can always link Tradeovate into TradingView if you like TradingView. And just link your accounts into here, makes it nice and easy. Or just use NinjaTrader. I really like NinjaTrader. Market's trying to get going here, guys. It is trying to find a bump here. That PDC and VWAP on the ES and SPY held. These are the key levels, though. It's got to get above these 70s, 80s for a push and base. Take care, Abe. Back to where we found sellers now. Do they let this through before lunch? You know, is that last pullback all they needed into VWAP for that move? Time will tell here. Time will tell. Here's that pivot. Tapping into it. So is this a sweep to go lower, or do they push, pull back, and hold now? ES trying to approach, as is SPY, trying to approach its initial balance. Yeah, you can link it to TradingView. You just need to go to the bottom of the page and click on, is it Trading Panel? Yeah, Trading Panel, and then you can just link it there, and then you can execute on TradingView. No worries, Trentry. Thanks for turning up. So there's the stop run. Now, does the next pullback start to hold? Do you start to find a pivot to move higher at this point? ES just shy of its IB high there. Came to tap into it. Remember, you can still auction lower. You're in a battle here. You will have rotational traders trying to sell short against the IB high. You will have momentum traders looking for a pullback long to come and take out previous day high. The easy money will be once we get above previous day high, above the Globex level, and we start to find bids. That will be the easy money if it does it. It might not do it today, but that will be the easier money. At that point, we either get the breakout pullback for that long into 800s, or we get the fail breakout for a rotation back down like we saw yesterday. VIX now approaching previous day low. All right, I'm watching this carefully here. Yeah, it's trying to bang into IB high here. Just really don't want this to do this move when I leave at lunch. ES going for it. Here comes the IB high on the ES. It's attempting it again. It is definitely gunning for it. Here's IBH on the ES. Really want to see a pullback. If that last pullback was it, it's kind of tricky, but you can see there's your R level. We can afford a deeper pullback here to build something out to do this. Ideally, I want to join long up here later in the day, or maybe tomorrow, because I won't be here today. So if they could save this for tomorrow, I'd be a happy man. If they can save that move for tomorrow, I'd be a very happy man. Okay, ES rejecting the IB high there again. VIX starting to break down. It's right at the previous day low if they start to let go previous day low. Bigger move here on the market for that upside squeeze. Let's have a quick look. Nvidia 1/3% up, Meta 1/3% up, Microsoft 2/3% up, Apple just under 0.5% up, Amazon, Google lagging behind, but Tesla's found a bid. That's why Tesla's about 1% up than it was. That's why the market. I was like, where are we going here? Tesla's found a bit of a bid. Does Tesla want to have a charge? I think that's the sort of question right now. Yes, stuck right at its initial balance. Do they build the flag here versus that resistance level right here? These sort of 70s been key. Do they build this for this? And then over this, do they do this? I got to talk to the market. I just think you need to just let it shake out. You got to remember, we're not too far from lunch here. You're only, what, 13 minutes from lunch? Everything's still inside initial balance, you know. So if you're in the longs, even though like lower time frame's starting to look like it's trying to set up, those rotational traders, they're going to try and defend these levels up here. Maurice, can I use evals with Trader8 TradingView link? Yeah, you can use anything on there. What you might need to do, if it's not showing, is go into your options on Trader8 web and make sure you click. There's like a click to allow third parties or to allow TradingView. If that's not automatically set, you just need to click that. VIX right at previous day low here. If VIX starts letting go here, this market can get going. It's a big if, because it hasn't been willing to let go once today. Just trying to build out this flag here. I'm not convinced yet, just based on the time. But if VIX starts letting go, market can do it. But again, you're just still in a rotational market. I'd much rather join higher, almost above previous day high. Yes, still failing the initial balance high. VIX cannot get through that previous day low. They're still defending. It's like I'm saying, it was still in a rotational market here. Nothing really changed. Nothing really changed here in this market. Same thing. They will need to hold this pullback for a drive higher. I'm watching ES. The reason I keep looking up here, I'm just watching how ES is moving right now. I'm watching 5-minute bars. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Again, VIX is just trapped between PDC and PDL. I'm really not keen on doing anything until I see something outside of that. VIX back to PDL again here. How long we got left? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So remember, we got lunch around the corner, folks. You got lunch around the corner. You are just in a range here. That's all you're in. Nothing else. Choppy, choppy, choppy. We got the easy moves. If we get going here, we can join. Maybe one last trade, but it's a bit risky into lunch. If we get confluence here, if we're going to get going, if previous day low is going to get let go of on the VIX and we start for a big sell and the market starts going in unison upside, then not against it. It'd be an odd time of day to try and do that move. Again, the head and shoulders, though, on the Qs and the quasi on the SPY, be very careful about that. Those 70s and 80s have been key all day long on the NQ. 70s and 80s, over, under, big key level. There we go. Reapproaching the 70s now. Do they force this squeeze? VIX right at the previous day low. I just want to see some momentum, some clear indication that someone's going to take control of this market. Yes, tapping into initial balance. SPY lagging very, very slightly behind it. Q's way behind it. That last dip starting to hold. Here goes a VIX under previous day low here, but need to see it break down of current lows. Let's just see a big wash here on the VIX and this market start to move. We're not seeing that yet. VIX approaching low of day. I'm flat, leaving a day green across all accounts. Nice. Green days are good days. Be thankful for what you get. Remember, we had the easy trades this morning. You're welcome. Absolutely welcome. Market cannot get going. Nothing in unison here. Lunchtime, 7 minutes away now. Nothing going on here at all. Nothing to trade here. Nothing to do here. It's not able to base above those 70s and 80s. It's not able to break clean below, the sort of neckline and the 500s. You're just in you're in an 80-point chop zone right now until it proves otherwise. There is absolutely nothing to do here. ES rejecting initial balance again. Right, absolutely again. So we're just in a rotational day, and they're going to keep trapping liquidity on a day like this. Look at VIX again. Cannot get under that previous day low. They are just trapping here. Do not become the liquidity here. Failed to base above here. Do not become the liquidity. Just sit and wait. There is nothing to do here. You're into lunch. You do not want to get caught giving your day back, trying to force something. New hourly bar coming. Point of control on the session still at 570. Value area highest on the session still at 580. Those will remain the key levels. 570, 580. Point of control, value area high. We've had no acceptance above that yet. Very, very big level. We've talked about it all morning. Even when we were over here, we were talking about it. Even when we were here, we're talking about it. It's 570s, 580s. This is your level. Over that and a hold, maybe they get that move. Over this, maybe they go higher. What just happened there? Don't want that. Until then, they're just going to trap between here. Sorry, folks. Tired. All right, last chance to get questions in. I'm going to shut these screens down. Done for the day. Made my money. No need to hang around. Can set price alerts. How many trades should that be taking you? It depends on your risk reward and how many contracts you're using, Andrew. I don't know what your RR is, but given the size of these moves, if you're using 1 to 2 micros, like 1 to 2 trades. No worries, Marcel. No worries, BU. It sounds like you're all winding it down for the day as well. The buyers failing to step in, failing to get that move above 70s and 80s. Initial balance holding on the ES. Gosh, you can tell I'm tired. You can tell I'm tired. Three trades, I think it was, Raphael. I think it was 2 or 3 trades. Oh, sorry. Big yawn. Back to VWAP, back to PDC, selling off into lunch here. Here are all the VWAPs, weekly VWAP, current New York VWAP, overnight VWAP, everything stacking up, everything's close. PDC here, old point of control here, current point of control, and value area high up here. This is the chop range. This is the range I said I do not want to trade this. Either we get under here for the rotation or we get above here for a long. Until then, not interested. Not interested. So, in fact, let's set. I'm going to set at IB high because I think if we get there, we're going higher. Let's set some price alerts for the day. Make it nice and easy so I don't have to sit here and watch all day long. We can just wait for those to trigger. Lutnick's currently talking, folks. I didn't have this scheduled. Domestic manufacturing estimates they have 15% non-domestic supply chains and expect that to go down to 10% next year. Auto manufacturers will pick the highest tariff that comes with their goods and they will only pay 1. It's not a rebate, it's an offset that comes from tariffs. Okay, this guy just talking tariff. So yeah, just be aware. If you're going to trade over lunch, you've got Lutnick talking. I didn't have that scheduled. I think I had that scheduled for like 8:30 or 9:30 this morning, and he wasn't there. And then there was another one scheduled for the close. So obviously just talking over lunchtime. So just be aware of that because you're going to get a little bit thinner on the liquidity. I'll give you a quick read before I go where people are stacked. You've got a bid here stacked at 512 and then 500. That was the over-under this morning. You're basically looking at 500 to 575, 580. Those are your levels. Do not play between those levels, all right? Play outside of those levels when it becomes clear. Do not get chopped between those levels. It's shown you already. Choppy between these. Failure outside. Choppy between these. Failure down here. Wait for it to get above or below these. Don't get chopped up in here and wonder why you blow up, all right? Make it easy on yourself. Very much like yesterday. You had to be patient yesterday. Chopped. Once we used the liquidity, we got under, retested it, sell. Same thing. Chopped at lower range. Once we got over it, buy. Just let everyone else do that. Don't be joining in for that. All right, everyone. Lunchtime's here. Like I said, news hitting the headlines. Lutnick's talking about tariffs. Be very, very careful if you're going to sit here and trade. We had most of the good money today. Unfortunately, we didn't get that previous day high check, but you know, it's okay. We make good money. We come back tomorrow. We go again. Our job is to be defensive, capital preservation, and go again. Please use hard stops. Be sensible. I will be back here tomorrow morning, 9:15 Eastern time. Those in Discord, I will try and pop in. But again, I'm not here this afternoon from sort of 11:30, 12 o'clock lunchtime. Lunchtime for me. All right. Peace and love. Take care. See you tomorrow. Thanks for joining.